In this video, we're going to look at simplifying radicals. Let's first figure out what a radical is. A radical is basically the same as saying the square root of something. So we represent a radical by this sign. We have seen before that the radical of, let's say, 9, that's going to be plus or minus 3. What we're going to look at now is when we have a number inside of the radical that doesn't become a whole number. Let's take a look at the radical of 18. We know that there is no whole number that multiplies with itself to give you 18. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use something called a factor tree. And it's really a way to break down the number inside of the radical. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to start by drawing two branches under the number, and these branches are going to connect to two numbers that multiply to that. So let's start with 2 and 9. Your goal here is to keep on doing this until you find pairs. So notice with the 9, you can break that down into 3 and 3. Once you've found a pair, let's go ahead and circle our pair. That pair is going to leave the radical, like it's going to go into the outside of the radical, as just that number, not 3 times 3. Now, it's not going to be 9 on the outside. It's going to be just 3 on the outside, and what's left on the inside is going to be any number that didn't have a pair. So notice that this 2 here didn't have a pair to go out of the radical with, so we're going to leave that guy inside. So there's our answer for radical 18. Now let's take a look at radical 48. First, we're going to start with our branches, our tree, to complete our factor tree. And I'll choose, at this point, 2 and 24. 2 is already broken down as much as it can, so we'll keep on going with the 24. So I have a 2 and a 12. Let's go on 2 and 6 and 2 and 3. Now let's start circling any pairs that we might have. So we have one pair that's going to leave as a 2, and this other pair of 2s will leave also as another 2. So let's write what we've got so far. We had a 2 from the first pair, and then another 2 from the other pair of 2s. And what they're going to do on the outside is multiply. And then the only thing that we have left inside of the radical is this 3. So far we have this. Then you just simplify everything, meaning combine the 2's on the outside, so you get 4 root 3. Now let's take a look at another way to do the same problem. If you guys notice that you can take a 4 initially out of this, you can have 4 and 12. And before breaking down that 4, I noticed that this 12 can be broken down into 4 and 3. I have my pair right here. So that 4, or that pair of 4, can leave as a 4. So we simply have 4 root 3 now, which is what we got earlier up here. Let's take a look at one last one. Here we have radical of 54. And we'll start with our factor tree. I'm going to choose 2 and 27. And then keep on going with 3 and 9. And then 3 and 3. So here we have one pair. That 3 is going to go out of the radical. So far we have 3 radical. And let's now talk about what's left inside. Here we don't have a pair for the 2, and this 3 is all alone. So what happens with these two numbers is that they multiply on the inside. So what we get is a root 6, or radical 6. And that would be your answer. Now please try these for homework and bring them into class.